Hello and welcome to a special conversation with somebody in the hot seat and greatly happy. I mean, the whole cricket world is talking about it. Bangladesh beating Australia in Darwin in one of the greatest cricket victories of all time in red ball cricket. Phil Simmons, you pulled off a miracle. How on earth did you manage to take a Bangladesh team to win Australia in red ball? White ball, I understand. But red ball cricket, this is perhaps the greatest moment in the history of Bangladesh cricket. Tell me.
Yeah, I think it definitely would be the biggest moment in Bangladesh cricket history, beating Australia in Australia. For any team who's going there, it's always a big thing because they are difficult to beat in Australia. But I think over the last year we've been, or even maybe 2 years, the Test cricket team has been getting better and better. We had a little blip in Zimbabwe. We lost a test match there, but before that, we've been playing some good test cricket. So the confidence has been building. And even though the 3-day game didn't go as we wanted it to, we definitely had that confidence coming into this game.
A lot. If you see, even yesterday I was watching a few shows. Ricky Ponting, for example, was talking about the quality of Bangladesh's pace attack, saying perhaps it is now one of the best in Asia. You've got a real good quality crop of fast bowlers, and that tells me that Bangladesh can now be very competitive overseas in any condition.
And that's what we've been trying to build on a lot because with three pacers and to be fair, we missed Rana from a point of view of pace, but the three guys who played made up for that in their discipline and their accuracy.
Mhm. Ian Bishop tweeted yesterday about you, saying my brother deserves every moment of it. Beautiful tweet from our friend Ian. I mean, I know you, Phil, for a long, long time. Great moment for you. What does this mean personally to Phil Simmons, the coach?
It means so much. As I told the guys in the dressing room yesterday, it is the biggest win of my test coaching career. I came here with West Indies. We didn't beat Australia. So it means a lot because how we've been working as a unit, how the guys been working, and especially how hard they work in the 3 days after the 54 in the practice match. It gave me so much joy when that run was hit. You know.
Pat Cummins talking about leaving £500,000 and all that. People were talking down the Bangladesh team. Did that fire people up? Did that kind of tell the boys that this is a lot more than just a match? It's also about national pride.
I don't think we needed anything to fire us up. I think just playing against Australia, playing Test cricket for this group is firing them up because they want to leave a recognition that we are a good Test team and that we can play good Test cricket. And the main thing right now is that we can play good international cricket away from home, especially in your Australia, England, South Africa, where people always think we're going to falter because of bounce and pace. So the guys are really up for showing that we are capable of playing outside of Asia.
One thing that stood out for me that yes, you win one day, you win one session or two, but to consistently win every session and push Australia back right through the 4 days for me stood out. The intensity never dropped. Can you tell me a little bit more? What did you tell the boys? You were in control, but to close out the control and eventually win, there is a difference between being on top and closing out and winning. That's the major thing, and Bangladesh did that beautifully. Can you tell me a little bit more?
I think the biggest factor in that is about controlling the emotion. Very emotional people. We sometimes get to that stage where we've gotten 4 or 5 wickets in the morning and we live with that. Whereas in this case, we try to make sure that at lunchtime, at tea time, we stayed at the same level and made sure that we come back out with our emotions intact and not getting the emotion too high or too low if we didn't get wickets. So that was one of the main things we tried to do, even from the 3-day game, try to keep that emotional meter at a level place.
How about Mehidy? 5 wickets and 50 runs very rarely happens in Test match cricket. Some days back, Mehidy Hasan Miraz was trolled. He was being criticized on social media for someone to come back, young man, to be able to do that. 5 wickets, 50 runs. Word on Mehidy.
Yeah, excellent. And his all-rounder status is getting bigger and bigger. I think he's number two in 50 over in ODI cricket, and he's moving up in Test cricket too. His ability to bowl, and we saw some really top-class off-spin bowling from him in that second inning there, because the wicket was, I think Steve Smith mentioned it, that the wicket was good to bat still on the third day. And his ability to deceive batsmen like Steve shows that his off-spin pedigree is getting better and better.
But the series isn't over, Phil. I mean, Australia will come back hard. Now that you are up, people will watch. Global sport is watching Bangladesh. For me, as a historian of sport, this is a great result for cricket, because frankly, you see crowds in Australia, crowds in England, but in other parts of the world, including India, for Test match cricket, maybe the crowds aren't there. But results like this in Bangladesh will be massive, massive. People will come back and support the team. Thoughts on that? That the series, if you can clinch the series from here on.
It's going to be even bigger if we can clinch the series. And again, we have two Test matches in Bangladesh against West Indies in October, and to clinch this series, the stadium at Mirpur could be full on that first morning against West Indies. So we understand that it's one Test match. We understand that it's historical. It's the biggest thing in red ball cricket, especially for Bangladesh. But we also recognize that we have one more Test match to play, and the level that we want to keep is what we played at in this Test match.
The Prime Minister called. Where visuals are everywhere. Tariq Rahman talking to the team clearly means a lot to the country. What did the players tell you? I mean, what was the celebration like?
We could just imagine. We were comparing it a little bit to when Argentina won games in the World Cup, because the streets in Dhaka were unbelievable during the World Cup. So we were talking about it being similar to that yesterday. And people just celebrating, and the amount of messages I got from people in Bangladesh, it is something that some people, I would think, didn't believe that it could happen, especially on this tour.
I have to say, I didn't believe it could happen.
And to see the celebration on some of the videos and things that on social media, it's unbelievable, and I can imagine what it's like, because I know what it's like for me, so I can imagine what it's like for Bangladesh people themselves.
From the perspective of sport, Phil, I mean, being someone who's been part of the sport for the longest time, 2.5 decades, as a player, as a coach, as a distinguished coach, how important is this? Because clearly, if the sport goes beyond an England, Australia, India, South Africa, maybe New Zealand, 5 teams, and then the gap is pretty big. But now with Bangladesh coming through, if they be consistent, Test cricket overall can become much more competitive.
Well, yeah, and that's what we need. We need the competitive nature of Test cricket. I remember Steve was saying it a while back, some years about that Test cricket needs a competitive West Indies. I think Test cricket needs competitive every team. And in order for us to be more competitive, we have to keep getting chances like this and showing that we have improved from the last Test match was down here was 20 years ago or something like that. So showing that we have improved and getting better and winning matches like this is going to make Test cricket more competitive and better for us.
Last couple of questions. What was the celebration like? Did you celebrate at all, or did you tell the boys no celebration, only after the series? What did you tell them?
Usually with me, I don't let any big celebration, because we still have a match. But I could not hold back this. Even for me, I could not hold back on it, and I had to, even in the dressing room, I just had to sit back and watch them enjoy themselves, because it is so big. And so for somebody, especially like Mushfiqur Rahim, who has been here for so long, you could see the joy in his face. You could see the joy in Monamola. compact pace, and because they have been here, they have been through some tough times on away tours more than some of the younger fellas. So I really enjoyed their celebration and how they enjoyed winning this game.
Phil Simmons, have you picked up any Bangla? Have you picked up any Bangla for your fans in Bangladesh? Tell me.
Yes. It's not good yet, so I won't release it yet. Win the series, and I will release it.
Okay, I will hold you to that, but you should tell them এটা তোমাদের জন্য. এটা তোমাদের জন্য. This is for you fans. That's what Phil Simmons' message is as far as I'm concerned, because I consider Phil
Definitely, that would be my message. This is for the Bangladesh people.
For the Bangladesh people, absolutely. Last question. You know, having seen sport, when you win something like this, you're on this high. It is very difficult to get focus back because you've achieved what you think is the pinnacle. Is that a challenge for Coach Phil Simmons?
It is, and it is the biggest challenge between now and the next test match. And I think it's something that we've spoken about before we left Bangladesh, that our emotions need to be in control. And emotional control is one of the biggest things in sport, because we get excited when we start to do well in things. So it is the biggest hurdle now going into the second test.
I'll let you go, Coach. I know you've got travel. I know this was at short notice. Thank you very much for giving me time, because this was one such victory that each one of us, cricket fans, analysts, scholars of sport, need to celebrate and put in context. For a country, it means the world. For the world of cricket, it means a lot, because it kind of opens up great possibilities. You've been the architect of it. Many congratulations. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you joining. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Take care of yourself.